Hey everyone, my name's Steve. I'm an astrologer. I've been an astrologer for many years. This video is about my approach to this subject. I don't agree with traditional astrology, and so I'm going to tell you what I disagree with so that in the future, when I define and look at people's charts and interpret what their meaning is, you'll understand where I'm coming from. This chart right here that you see, most astrologers agree with. And I don't agree with what's here. If you look around the outside, those are the 12 astrological signs. On the inside, you have the 12 houses. And you don't need to know what houses are. We'll explain that in the future. But it's really the middle chart. These are all the planets that rule the different signs and houses. So we can start with the first house, just as an example. The planet Mars rules the sign of Aries. Everyone knows that, everyone agrees to it. It also rules the first house. But if you look at this chart, there are two planets ruling two different signs. I've never agreed with that. It has never made any sense to me. I believe God created astrology, and the only way you can explain Venus ruling Libra is to say, and Venus ruling Taurus at the same time, is that God was lazy. And I don't think God was lazy. I think that there were 12 planets originally, and I'm going to go into where I think those planets are and how I discovered them. I could be wrong. I don't really know for sure. But the same way a gold miner goes into a gold mine, his only objective is to come out of that gold mine with gold. And so for me, astrology is all about accuracy. That's all I care about. So right now in this chart, we have, like I said, Taurus, Venus ruling Taurus and Libra at the same time, but also Mercury ruling Gemini and Virgo. So I agree with the first two. I agree that Venus rules Taurus, and I agree with Mercury ruling Gemini. It's the other two I don't agree with. So right now I'm going to show you my theories on what's really going on. And my theory is that there were 2 or 3 planets in between Jupiter and Mars, or possibly Saturn and Jupiter. I don't really know for sure. It doesn't really matter. But I believe these planets that are sort of missing, that have gone missing, and we don't know where they're at, I think they got caught up in the gravitational field of Jupiter. And it's not like this is a new theory. There are scientists, the astronomers, looking through telescopes as we speak. They're using the Webb telescope, the new telescope, to look for exactly this, this type of thing. And I'll show you what I mean. In this chart, this is what they believe, and this is what I believe is going on. If a planet got caught up in Jupiter's gravitational pull, it might have been slung or pushed out into space through this elliptical shaped orbit. If the planet got out of whack, out of its orbit, and got caught up in maybe the sun's or Jupiter's gravitational field, this is the kind of thing you would expect to happen. And that's why they're looking. And we're going to come back to this chart in a minute. But for now, just know that, you know, maybe we can't discover or see these planets because they're so far away from the sun and the earth. And next we're going to go to what I believe is happening here. So I've renamed some of what's in this chart, and we're going to start with Libra. I believe that there is a planet, and I've called it Compania, and I believe it's at 20 degrees of Cancer. I don't think this planet is moving very fast. In fact, I don't think it's gone anywhere, and like maybe it's moved 1 degree in 100 years. And I'll show you what I mean by that. I'll show you this chart again. And I would look at this area right here. I think that if the planet is moving away from the sun and the earth, at this angle, it's not going to move very fast, or it's not going to move very far through the zodiac. It's going to move really slow and sit in one, possibly 1 degree of a sign for a long time. That's all I'm proposing. And I bet there's some astronomers out there who might agree with that. But back to our chart. So I believe, let me get the right chart here. I believe that Compania is ruling Libra, But I also believe that the dwarf planet Ceres is ruling Virgo. Now, maybe it's a ruler of Virgo, maybe it's a co-ruler. Maybe there's a bigger planet out there that's ruling Virgo. I don't really know. I just know that Ceres keeps showing up in the charts of people who are strong Virgos. And so from there, I'm going to go back to our chart here. What's interesting about Ceres is that unlike all the other dwarf planets, and Ceres is I think it's the 10th largest dwarf planet in our solar system. So it's kind of a big deal. You know, there's hundreds of these planets out here in the Kuiper Belt. When you look at the top 5 or top 9, whatever, you know, they're very close to the size of Pluto. And Pluto is the largest dwarf planet in our solar system. And we're going to come back to Pluto here in a minute. But contrary to all these planets, which take hundreds of years, 200 or more years to make one orbit around the sun, Ceres just takes 4.5 years. So if you're an astrologer, that's a really big deal. That's, you know, because you're going to have a new cycle every 4.5 years. And I've studied the cycles of Ceres for a long time now. And I can tell you that it's definitely a player in astrology. When you begin looking at the cycles, and we can't go into the cycles in this video, but I'll explain them in a future video. But it definitely is showing up on the radar in terms of accuracy. And so next, we're going to go to Scorpio, the sign of Scorpio. And everyone and their brother believes that Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. I'm not downgrading Pluto. I think Pluto plays a major role in astrology. Everyone believes that. If Pluto gets into a certain area of your chart, you definitely notice it in terms of its transit. And again, we can cover this, we will cover this in a future video. But the question is, and I'll go back to this, why is Pluto the ruler when it's a dwarf planet? And I would say the same thing about Ceres. Why is Ceres a ruling planet of a sign when it's a dwarf planet? I don't know. Maybe there's a bigger planet, and these planets, Pluto and Ceres, are just playing kind of a co-ruler or a sister planet. But anyways, again, it's about accuracy. Pluto shows up accurate in people's charts, as does Ceres. And so we're going to go to, where are we going to go to? Back to our chart. And so whatever this planet is, that's actually ruling Scorpio, I've named it Vader, after the Star Wars character. If you think about Darth Vader, very strong, very powerful character in terms of movie characters, that kind of thing. I do believe it's at 1 degree of Pisces. And again, I don't think it's moving very fast. I can't confirm how fast it's moving because I haven't studied it long enough. But like I've spent a lot of time with Compania. But I can tell you that when I look at the charts of the wealthy, people who are multimillionaires and billionaires, 1 degree of Pisces just keeps showing up. And when I look at the charts of people who are not wealthy, I don't see it in their charts. So I'm just proposing there's a possible link here. So anyhow, this is my approach to astrology. If you want me to look at your chart and interpret it, I don't charge people for it, but I would ask for a Zoom meeting where we would set something up, and then that video would be recorded and put on the internet, and obviously you'd have to agree to that. So if that's something you want to do, you can email me at domychart@gmail.com. You'll need to include birth time, date, and place in that email, and from there, we'll just go from there. So anyhow, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.